Welcome back to Stocklabs for another market recap. This is for the week ending November 19th, so option expiration week in November. And it was kind of a rough-ish week for a lot of stocks in the market, although the indices held up pretty well. Nasdaq was up and S&P, hung in there, had an okay week. But everything else under the surface, was kind of terrible, to be honest. We were looking for last week. We were looking for. I thought the market would sort of just be a little soft at the start of the week and then finish strong, but really, the majority of stocks were just weak all week. And then, even though the indices were, not showing any weakness, which makes it, quite difficult, sort of to navigate. Let's see our major ETFs. So week to date, Q's up 2.4%, bonds up 6/10, S&P up 3/10, and then everything else down. Gold down 1%, although the trending gold has been okay the last few weeks, kind of following the Nasdaq on this latest leg. And then Dow down 1.5%, and small caps, kind of torched for minus 3%. Just no real traction there all week. And jumping over to the leaders of our dear market, these stocks did, great this week. So Tesla was up 10%, Apple up almost 7. Then you have Amazon up 4.5, Microsoft up 2, Facebook up 1.3, Google kind of flat, up 0.2, and Netflix down 0.5%, although it has bounced off that little correction that it had, getting back towards up 700. So really, this was the only game in town. Up 3.5% for these mega caps, and then a lot of the rest of the market had some big problems all week. If we just look at the breadth across industries, negative across the board. Utilities down 0.6. I guess you can say they hung in. Financials hung in down 1%, but healthcare down 6%. Even tech, outside of those majors, was down 4.5%. So if you weren't a multi-hundred billion company or a TerraCap company, then you probably did bad this week. Basic materials got lit up, down 5.5%. They kind of follow the oil trade. Oil's been struggling of late after, that huge run. It's kind of doing a bit of a correction. On our subsectors, we only had two sectors that were up over 5%: department stores and semiconductors. This is even a subsector within semiconductors. Memory chips is, I think, Micron's in this. Yeah, Micron's in this. And I think this RMBS was up a lot this week. I saw it running the one day. Up 13%. Okay, and Micron was up 8%. And whatever this MRAM is was up 12. So decent for those specific semis, although the rest of everything, all these subsectors, it kind of gets towards, we only had, this page has 25, so 1, 2, 3. So we had 19 sectors that were even up, and most of them were only up, a smidge, not that much. To the downside, a lot of stuff got hit. So nuclear down 15%, cannabis down 11%, a lot of other stuff down 9, 8. Chinese stocks again resumed their downtrend, down 8%. It's big down week. Even EVs that were like a really hot trade. Some of them were up, but well, we said like Tesla was up 10%, but the cohort kind of got walloped on I think that news of the Apple car or whatever they're going to call it. Apple comes in, everyone else, more or less becomes obsolete overnight. So yeah, this is 25, 50. Okay, so we had 47 sectors that were down over 5% on a median basis. So really bad breadth overall across a lot of sectors. Jumping into our screener, you can probably picture how this is going to go if we just go by market cap. Um, so this is 1 to 5 billion, down 3.4%. And then our large cap or our mid caps 5 to 10 billion, down 2.5%. The large caps were down 1.8%. And our mega caps should be a little better. Okay, down 0.6, not the worst. And Terra caps were down 0.9. So even among Terra caps, down almost 1%. With the exception of the very, very largest one. So if I just sort this column by market cap, okay, so all our big boys are in here: Apple, Microsoft, Google, Amazon. Yeah, you see those are the ones that are up, and then okay, this is top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so JP is 10th largest. Yeah, so out of the top 10, the only ones that were up were the tech ones, and then as soon as you become a not tech company, you're down. Well, Home Depot had a good week, up 9%, but then even going down further, red. And then it just gets a little more mixed. But the largest stocks were the ones, that stole the show this week and really carried the indices, specifically the NASDAQ, higher, although everything else was seemingly falling apart under the surface. And if we go to intelligence now, okay, intelligence. So what do we have on deck for this week? Brazil. This has shown up before. I don't know who trades Brazil, but it's rated bullish. Same with Mexico. Sometimes these foreign indices show up. Cloud set to bounce. Cloud, like I said, a lot of even the tech stocks that are not large caps, even if they're tech, they've been soft. They've been establishing sort of downtrend. So if this gets a bounce this week, then that would be good. What do we have here? An MLP, LABD. This is Bear Biotech. I mean, biotech has been a nightmare for months and months. If you look at something like XBI, it's just like the downtrend is clear. You look at like a daily chart or something. It's like no one wants to allocate money to these things for whatever reason. Rare earths and financials and real estate round out our bullish ETFs for the week. I have a feeling if these bottom three, like this Remex, Ultra Financials, and Bull Real Estate, if they're up, then the IWM small caps should maybe find their footing and move higher, but we'll just have to see. If I reverse this. Okay, so what's rated bearish this week? Okay, this is Bear Fang, and this is Bear High Beta. Okay, so if FNGD is bearish, then that's bullish Fang, so more of the same there. I mean, Fang's been carrying the market, so you'd look for the trend to sort of remain there. And then this high beta, a lot of these are in the Russell. A lot of basic material stuff are within this high beta ETF. So hopefully that's another confirmation. I pointed out the other three ETFs. that if they bounce, then the Russell will probably bounce, and the same thing for Hibbs. If Hibbs is down this week, then IWM should be, at least not getting hit every day like it did this past week. Okay, so overall, this is going to be a shorter week. I don't know the exact schedule. I know the market's open Monday, Tuesday should be full day, full days, normal day, and then Wednesday, day before Thanksgiving. I'm not sure. It might be a half day, but if it's a full day, then likely there won't be much action on that day. Most people will probably be shutting everything down by Tuesday at the latest. And then Friday, we're back for post Thanksgiving, which is usually like a nothing day in the market because, everyone's just still in holiday mode. There's no reason to do anything crazy on a day where you were just off the day before and you're sitting on top of a weekend. So, yeah, the week is really abbreviated. I would expect if any move is going to happen, it's going to happen Monday, Tuesday, and then from there, you're kind of the indices at least will just be parked the rest of the time. So there's no reason to really get too excited about anything this week. I don't think there's going to be anything overly bullish or bearish. I think you might just look for some continuations of trends from this week, with the exception of IWM, if there's a little bit of rotation back into that, just because um, people look at those things. They say, "Oh, well, this underperformed for so many days, in a row. It's due for a bounce. I'm going to rotate back into it," and then it just becomes like a herd mentality sort of thing. So, I'd look for that. And we did say on our seasonality, November generally really bullish. We came out of the gate in November really strong. Even small caps were up, I think 6.5% or something the first week, and they've normalized basically the rest of the month since then. So now you might be looking at a setup where they could be positioned for a little bit of a run into the end of month again. But we'll see. Nasdaq, everyone knows, has been really strong. So um, I wouldn't look for anything wild to happen there. And we did have, or not we had, but we are getting pretty close to being oversold on the overall market, which should put a floor under a lot of these things that have been getting walloped over the past couple weeks. You will notice that um, in the first week of the month, we had these two overbought signals, and even though the Nasdaq has continued moving up, and even S&P, the small caps have really fallen apart since um, since these overbought signals. And then because this is Stocklabs, this isn't one particular index. This is like all the stocks in the market. So when the breadth has been really bad over the past few months, it's getting down into oversold territory. Still has a little bit of a ways to go. I doubt this probably won't hit this week, unless there's sort of like a big flush on Monday. But I'm going to be keeping an eye on this, maybe for the start of December, getting a signal out of this and seeing what we can do with that. Trying to think if there's anything else. I think that's mostly everything. Yeah, there wasn't anything of note in these custom indices either. So, yeah, overall tough week, but maybe we're looking for, just a general pre-holiday bounce, across everything, and we'll see how it goes. Check back in on Friday, and yeah, talk to you all then. Bye.